Left to right, Lucy, Berzon, Mary Hilton, Claire Ballantyne and Natalie Corbett have been selected from over 4,000 candidates. Recently, 4 British women arrived at a remote location in Antarctica to host tourists and care for the dwindling penguin population. Here these 4 women are preparing to celebrate Christmas away from the rest of the world. While talking to BBC, he told what arrangements he has made for staying at this place. When Claire arrived at the place that would be her home for the next 5 months, she found the place covered in several meters of snow. We grabbed the shovels and started removing the snow bit by bit, and thus the feeling of cold lessened a bit. There was a competition to select a team to take over the port system at Port Lucroy, about 911 miles south of the Falkland Islands. A 4-member team consisting of Claire Ballantyne and her 3 female colleagues, Mary Hilton, Lucy Berzon and Natalie Corbett. The team was selected. The competition for the maintenance of this base camp in Antarctica was organized by the UK Antarctic Heritage Trust, in which thousands of people participated. This small building was once a British military outpost and a research centre, but now houses a post office, a museum and a gift shop. Small ships pass here, and during these days the British team based here takes care of the tourists coming on these ships, as well as about 1,000 people who live on this island. Chinto also takes care of penguins. I was inaudible when I spoke via satellite phone from the UK to the women working in such dire conditions. But wildlife experts Claire and Mare told me about their experiences on the island. Claire said that, "We first shoveled a lot of snow out of the way of the building. Shoveled snow off the solar panels to restore power. Then we made sure that in the coming weeks we continued to get enough water and gas to live safely on the island." The museum's roof had been damaged by the weight of the snow, and the women called in a team from the Royal Navy of Great Britain to repair it at the start of the campaign. Claire says that she vividly remembers the moment when the Navy team left to carry out the repair work. There were no people left on the island except for the 4 women. All around them were penguins and huge icebergs floating silently in the sea. That was a really great moment. Claire has taken over the responsibility of sending mail from this post office in the southernmost part of the world, as postmaster. Claire's job is to deliver letters and postcards from visiting tourists to their friends and loved ones around the world. The mail I send from here takes about 4 weeks to reach the UK. I am very happy to know that I am in such a remote place where this postal journey begins. By the time I spoke with Claire and Mare, the women had already spent several weeks at Port Lucroy and had settled into a regular schedule. We wake up at 7 in the morning, have breakfast and then go to shovel the snow at the port where guests disembark, Mary told me. At in the morning, visitors visit the museum, buy souvenirs, and see penguins. After that, we have our lunch, and in the afternoon another group of tourists arrive, which stays here till around 6 p.m. After that we eat dinner, keep an eye on the penguins and finish any work left. Port Lucroy is the most popular tourist destination in Antarctica, with around 18,000 visitors a year. The team's relationship with the people who come here is two-way, because the team is very dependent on the ships that pass through here. But it's not as easy as it sounds. The team told me that the weather in Antarctica is so unpredictable that suddenly these people are cut off from the rest of the world for days at a time and no ships can reach them. Claire says you never know what the next day will be like. You cannot say whether the ship will come in the morning or not if there is a storm. That's why you should be prepared for any situation. Despite all these problems and uncertainties, these 4 women are still fascinated by their surroundings even after several weeks have passed. Claire says that every morning when you walk on the snow on parts of the building and look out at the surrounding mountains and huge icebergs, it all looks so beautiful that it puts a smile on your face. The gentoo is the 3rd largest penguin species after the emperor penguin and the king penguin. I asked the women how they would feel if they were the only 4 humans among the hundreds of penguins on the island. Miri's answer was that penguins don't make as much noise as we thought. These penguins are great neighbors and a lot of fun to watch. As far as keeping an eye on these penguins is concerned, the team's major task is keeping track of their eggs. These Antarctic penguins usually lay their eggs in the same months of the year. But according to Mary, the team feels that the penguins' breeding season is now delayed due to the changing weather conditions here. I still have a lot of ice here today, and the bay is not showing much sea ice here, which is unusual. If snow falls on penguin eggs, the eggs will not survive. This means that if the weather here is hotter than normal and the cold is less, things will not be good for our penguins. Claire and Mary said they haven't had much free time since they arrived, but are trying to soak up every moment they have on the island. That's why I asked her what specifically she plans to do for her most unusual Christmas this year. Mary's reply was that we will have a holiday on Christmas Day. Some of us ladies will make puddings, mince pies and ginger biscuits to go with it. On this day we will just relax, have Christmas dinner and do many things that we usually do at home, but this time we will do it not at home but here in Antarctica.